This video features the best brawlers you need to be playing in May 2024. With the new season and the new brawler, let's see how much the meta has shifted so far. Alright guys, the first brawler we're going to be talking about in this video is going to be Leon. Now let's be honest here, the only reason why Leon is still going to be a top brawler in the game is because of his hypercharge. The stat buffs that you receive that you can stack with the invisible star power makes it so that you can still move quickly but also heal up at the same time. Now in game mode specifically like knockout, bound, and wipeout, he can use his super to sneak up onto the enemies and get some easy kills that way. These are going to be the more ideal game modes for Leon since you need to be getting more kills than dying, and what better assassin could you use in this meta besides Leon for those specific scenarios? Leon also has a pretty fast movement speed, so this makes it even more helpful if he needs to escape or close down the gap between the enemies. Now what's pretty unique about Leon, even though he is an assassin, he has a pretty long main attack range even though his proximity damage did receive a nerf. To be honest, this is just what makes Leon even better. He doesn't always have to be at a close range to charge his super, even though he does the most damage at a close range. And another thing that's very good about Leon's kit is the fact that he has the lollipop drop gadget. This gadget is a great way for Leon and his teammates to maintain control on the map, mostly because he can keep his entire team invisible for a short period of time while the gadget is active, just causing the enemies to play cautiously. Overall, as long as you can consistently just go aggro, charge up your super, and keep on chaining up your hypercharge, you should have no problems absolutely dominating the enemy team inside of this meta. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Max. Now Max is undisputedly one of the best brawlers in the game right now, all because of her newly released hypercharge unlimited energy. When activated, Max's next super throws an energy drink to herself and all allies, regardless of whether they are in range of her super or not. All targeted allies receive a movement speed increase, but it will grant a 25% supercharge to the allies if and only if the energy drink hits. Max herself also gains a 24% speed boost, a 25% damage boost, as well as a 5% shield boost. Also with Max receiving a health buff of an increased 300 health within the other set of balance changes, that is easily shots and Max up as well into the S tier. Max has just always been a solid support brawler because she has one of the most supportive supers in the game. Pairing Max up with slower tanks in the game makes her a viable option to be used in a lot of different game modes and maps. Another reason why a lot of people just love playing Max in game modes specifically like Brawl Ball and Gem Grab is because she has such a versatile kit that makes her such an ideal mid brawler. Running the run and gun star power helps her consistently maintain control by just constantly poking and chipping away at the enemy's health. Also by using her phase shifter gadget, it helps her create pressure by dashing forward or even by using the shield to tank heavy incoming damage by snipers. Overall, Max was already in like the best brawlers for April video, but now that she got her hypercharge, oh, there's no doubt now that she is easily one of the best brawlers in the game. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Jessie. Now something that has actually helped Jessie from the other set of balance changes that has shots her up in the meta is the increase to her hypercharge charge rate. The hypercharge charge rate was increased from 40% to 60%, and the hypercharge's damage was increased from 20% to 25%. Now I just love this hypercharge because not only is it much stronger, but it pairs up very well with their energized star power to just stay alive a lot longer. It's important to be placing the scrappy turret behind walls or cover to make sure it stays alive as long as you can, and it makes it more difficult for the enemies to take it down when they walk past that wall. What I'd recommend doing is camping near that scrappy turret and protecting it with your life. Get the most amount of value out of your hypercharge because it takes forever for Jessie to get it. Another reason why Jessie is such an annoying brawler to face just in general is because of the bounce shot mechanic that she has with her main attack. The bounce mechanic of Jessie's attack can quickly cripple the enemy team, lock down choke points or linear sections of the map to punish grouped up enemies by dealing considerable damage to them. This will just help you get your super and hypercharge faster as well. Overall, with the recent buffs that Jessie got to her hypercharge charge rate and just buffs in general, I mean that has easily helped her like rise up in the meta again. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Cordelius. Now Cordelius is still going to be one of the most dominant brawlers in the game because he has such a fantastic super, being able to send people into that shadow realm. Enemies won't be able to use their gadgets or supers in the shadow realm, so it should make it even easier for you to take them down. Just don't be scared to rush them down, especially if they can't out DPS or outrange you. Now something that I love doing with Cordelius' super is eliminating the strongest person on the enemy team so that your teammates can just complete the objective much easier. This will just relieve a lot of the pressure on your teammates, and you just gotta take advantage of the fact that the enemies can't use anything except for their main attack to take you down in the shadow realm. Now something that can help you take down the enemies even quicker inside the shadow realm is using the combo shroom star power. Now not only is the star power going to be better to just help you finish off the enemies quicker, but it's actually going to help increase your super charge rate. Now since we're on the topic of Cordelius' build, you can't go wrong with running the poison mushroom gadget too. When using Poison Mushroom, you want to activate the gadget first and then use your super onto the enemy. This way you can use that gadget in the Shadow Realm to help you take down that targeted person. Usually you wouldn't be able to use your gadget in the Shadow Realm, but if you activate it before, then you can still use it. But let's be honest here, the whole reason why Cordelius is like definitely one of the best brawlers in the game is because of his hypercharged Complete Darkness. When activated, Cordelius' super slows enemies down in the Shadow Realm. He also gains a 24% speed boost, a 25% damage boost, as well as a 5% shield boost. This will just help you close down the distance between you and the enemies even more to get that confirmed kill. Overall, there are not really a lot of negative things to Cordelius' kit besides probably his short attack range, but other than that, I mean, he is just one of the best brawlers in the game. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Sandy. Now, the whole reason why Sandy's being ranked this high in the meta now is all because of his brand new hypercharged Swift Winds. When activated, Sandy's next super prevents affected enemies from using any attacks, supers, gadgets, or hypercharges for half a second. This sandstorm will also increase the movement speed of Sandy and his teammates when they are in its range by 20%. Sandy himself will also gain a 25% speed boost, a 25% damage boost, as well as a 5% shield boost. Now, even though Sandy has this fantastic hypercharge, you still want to be playing him on game modes and maps where there's a lot of bushes for him to hide in. It's critical that you do not play Sandy in the open up maps because he needs those walls and bushes, or just game modes where there's a lot of area control needed in order to dominate. And of course, we can't forget how amazing Sandy's Sweet Dreams gadget is and how much value it adds to his kit. This gadget is just great for disarming the enemies and helping you escape tough situations when needed. It's great value as well if you can stun multiple enemies and then have your teammates help you take them down. It's just a very underrated gadget. Now, speaking of playing Sandy on game modes and maps where there's a lot of bushes, it would be helpful to run the Rude Sand star power to kind of scout those bushes and prevent the enemies from healing up. This just makes Sandy even more annoying to face because if you are low, you can't run into the sandstorm since you will probably die. It's another aspect of Sandy's kit that helps him with area control. Overall, with Sandy probably having one of the best supers in the game, having his entire team go invisible inside of that sandstorm, and now that he has the hypercharge to add on to it, oh my god, he is just such a disgusting brawler to face right now. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Angelo. Now, even though Angelo received a slight nerf within the recent set of balance changes, he's still going to be considered to be one of the strongest brawlers in the game. The nerf that Angelo received was that his poison damage from his main attack is now decreased by 50%. Even though this is a great nerf to Angelo to kind of balance him out, he can still do so much damage with just charging up his main attack. Now, speaking of Angelo's main attack, when using it, you want to be charging up that arrow as soon as possible, kind of treating it like Janet's main attack. You just want to be as time efficient as you can when playing Angelo, so the earlier you can charge that arrow, the more damage you'll be able to do. Now, something I really love about Angelo is that you can technically just hold down his main attack forever. It's not like Hank's one where the bubble will just burst after holding it for a couple seconds. So if you're in a really tight situation and you need to focus when aiming down your target, you can just hold down your main attack forever if you have to. Now, even though the Angelo receive is going to decrease the amount of poison damage he does from his super by 50%, hey, you can't go wrong with still being able to stand inside that poison and dealing more damage. Just remember that the amount of damage that Angelo deals when standing in the poison cloud all depends on how long he charges up his main attack while standing inside. So the longer that you're aiming down the sight, the more poison damage you can deal over the next 3 seconds, and who knows, that can really make or break the difference of finishing off that enemy. And of course, we can't forget that Angelo actually doesn't have any auto regeneration capability, so running the Empower star power is a must-have for him. This is just a great way to still charge up your main attack and still fire your shots at the enemies while also healing up from the poison cloud. I mean, it's just a great star power for Angelo that he needs. Overall, even though Angelo did receive the nerf, that's still not going to hit him as hard as a lot of people think. He's still going to be definitely one of the best brawlers in the game to be playing. Alright guys, the next brawler we're going to be talking about is going to be Melody. Now, the whole reason why Melody is going to be one of the best brawlers in the game, even though it did receive a nerf, is going to be her interlude gadget. When Melody has a music note that revolves around her, she receives a shield that initially blocks the 10% of her health dealt to her. The shield's health is increased by an additional 10% for every note that is surrounding Melody. Now, as you can imagine, this can be paired very well with their super because you can just activate the gadget and go aggressive. I mean, it's just a great shield to have for her. Since we know that Melody's super doesn't deal any damage, there isn't a real threat if you're being pressured by Melody. So use this gadget to help you stay alive a little bit longer if you plan on dashing towards the enemies. Also, whenever you're about to activate this gadget, I recommend only using it when you have 3 music notes orbiting you. Since you can have a maximum shield of a couple thousand health, if you use the gadget with 3 music notes, that's just way more additional health on the shield you can gain. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that this is just going to help Melody play more aggressive when dashing all over the map, and it's going to help her stay alive while doing so. Whether you guys go with the best brawlers you guys need to be playing in May 2024, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this ranking list. Well, anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed that ranking video, I highly recommend you go check out this ranking video right here.